Let's talk about briefly a little bit about crate training, and then let's try to circle it back to how to do a proper dog walk and why they're related. Um, First of all, let's get a little bit to know about dogs. And we're going to start with wolves. If you can go on just like your search engine and just look up, this is YouTube, go on Google and look up patterns of like dog packs sharing the same territory. Again, you could frame that in different ways. It should kind of give you the same picture. What we're looking for is like multiple diagrams of just wolves as they're being tracked in the wild. And usually, what you end up seeing, especially if it's a color version of it, is first of all, they're color coded according to the different packs. And they're all kind of, again, they're on the same territory, but they kind of keep to their own spots. That's the first thing. Good fences make good neighbors. And dogs and wolves both get that. The second thing is this. If it's really good, it's actually, I think it'll generally show you, from what I've seen, that there's like a circling pattern. And we're going to come back to that later in the dog walking part of the conversation. But just keep that in mind, the circling of the territory. Okay, so first of all, good fences make good neighbors. This is my spot, this is yours. They already get that without us. Now we have a dog, right? That was wolves, now we have a dog. This is basically a wolf that has decided to enter into human society. If you're interested more in hearing about that, a really good book is A Dog in the Cave. I forget the author's name, but it's definitely a worthwhile read if you're interested seriously in just how far back we go with dogs. Anyway, let's continue. So, a dog that's living in our house is still dealing with good fences make good neighbors, and I need to do a loop. So let's talk about both of those. First of all, you need to crate train your dog. Again, he might be lovely, that's great. First of all, do it because if you're going to send him to a proper boarding institution, they should be using crates. I mean, just think about what it's like if the person says, "We don't crate the dogs," and like you're telling me like there's 4, 5, 6, 8 dogs. I get to scale that they're all just hanging out in the room together, and somebody's watching them 24/7. The economics of the whole thing doesn't even make sense to me. Again, maybe it's possible. I don't know. I just think the healthiest and safest thing is that your dog knows how to be crate trained. You're going to send them to somewhere and they're going to tell you, yeah, we crate our dogs. And they're going to be able to walk nicely into that kind of environment and it's not chaos. Otherwise, again, God bless you. But what's going to end up happening is either they're not crate training the dog, and that's really weird, or they now have to kind of deal with your dog as it's learning to be crate trained, and that's stressful for everybody. Most importantly in this case, the dog. Yeah, let him be happy. For that reason, I want to show you what what I got going on over here. Great. That's one of my crates. Yeah, you can't see it. Anyway, there's a bed in there, and there's a water bowl, right? I'm gonna close this. And that's important because, first of all, basically that whole room is temperature controlled. I got a way to cool it. I got a way to heat it. I have lighting control on it, and yeah, that's taken care of. It's night outside right now. Anyway, the lights are off. The point is that two things. There's a nice big comfortable bed that fits the size of the crate, and it's covered in a very thin sheet. That's important because you want the dog in the crate, you want to sit in comfortably, should be nice, and then you want to just put it to sleep. Yeah, I want you to forget about what's going on over there. My window's closed. Again, generally dogs are here. This door is open, so again, I should hear them. And in general, it's not like it's confinement. But yeah, for the dog's sake, let it know that it's in its crate. There's no visual thing to worry about. Just forget it. Yeah, you're in your crate. That's all you need to worry about. Here's water. I fed you after after the walk and after the training, so you're good, right? Here's some water. Be okay, and just go to sleep. You should look it up. But if you don't know this by now, a dog should be sleeping at least 16 hours a day. 18, I think, is also fine. But 14, somewhere between 14 and 18, that's what you're looking at. I think anything less and anything more, we're running into a problem. If your dog isn't doing that right now, that's an issue. If you spend it all day walking around trying to figure out what needs to be happening, he needs to be crate trained. He at least needs to know to go to his place and go to sleep. But yeah, that would be an issue. Now let's jump to the second part of our wolf diagram conversation, the circling. So a big thing that I notice is that when somebody gets a yard, right, and they get a yard and they got a fence, they go, oh, we need a dog. This is awesome. We have a yard. We can send the dog out to the yard. That's great. Your yard is not a dog walk. I'm sorry to break it to you. It's just not. You can try to make that. You know what ends up happening? It's just it's just a giant crate. And it's a crate that's way too big. And the dog is going to bark through the fence. And they're going to circle that yard and they're going to be like, I got it. I figured it out. What's next? Yeah, you're not helping anyone. Sorry. Anyway, what you want to do is you want to take the dog, put it on a leash, make sure that leash is properly equipped to make sure that dog walk is a good walk. Yeah, these are the hard facts. I'm sorry to tell you this. Anyway, and I would do first of all, a loop around the house. I would make sure that if you can, again, every city's different, every situation has changed. You want to kind of get the dog to see what's going on, and not just for the wolf diagram. You need to understand your dog smells things that are outside the house. Yeah, you can close that window. I'm not convinced it matters. It's hearing things that you can't hear. It wants to know what it is. Yeah, there's a reason your dog on all the walks is smelling as it goes. It's been inside. It wants to figure out what's going on. There's tons of information for it to gather with its nose, with its eyes. And if you're not giving it an opportunity to do that, stress. Let's break it down. Let's get rid of it. Take your dog on that circle walk. And the next time you do it, make it bigger. Change streets. Bring it around. Let it get to know the neighborhood. Again, it may not even need to be a circle, but just the wolf thing. Let it see where its surroundings are. That's part of how it behaves. It's what it needs to be happy. Why are all the packs doing it? It's not just these guys, it's all of them. Really, I'm serious. Every dog needs to be able to do this. Please don't forget it. My main takeaways that I want to leave you with this video is crate train your dog. Again, I don't think I am the expert on how to do it. That's just a setup that worked for me. I'll go over it again. Nice comfortable bed, water, kind of a thin sheet on top of it. Not a thick blanket, thin sheet. We want the dog to be able to breathe very properly. And that's just to cut down the visual and, subtle audio kind of input. Let it go to sleep. The next thing I wanted to bring up and make sure we walk away with is the walks. Yeah, your yard is not a walk. I'm sorry, it's just a large crate. It's a playpen. I'm glad you have it. It doesn't count. You got to take that dog on a walk. It's got to see different parts of the neighborhood. Does it have to be a loop? Maybe. I don't know. I do it just in case. I don't think it matters. I really think it's important that the dog every day is seeing different roads, gets into the thing. The dog himself should know the neighborhood with you. Yeah, you should guide it there. But that's it. That's just kind of what I made of the whole thing. I think it makes sense. Again, I said this in the first video. You should listen to people that you think are trustworthy. There's a lot of weird information out there. This is just what I gained from experience. Makes sense to me. It's brought me some pretty good success. But again, leave it up to you. If you have any, again, questions, please reach out. And like always, yeah, please remember, yes, you can. Have a good day.